Hi everyone! Today, we are going to explore the 6 and 7 state model processes. Let's dive in. The first state in our process model is the null state. Imagine an empty road devoid of any vehicles. This state is a process that has not yet been created or is currently inactive, similar to a road without any traffic. Moving on to the new state, just like a new vehicle entering a road, the new state stands for a newly created process ready to begin execution. It symbolizes the process entering the flow of operations, much like a vehicle joining the traffic on a road. Now, let's imagine vehicles waiting at a stoplight, eagerly expecting the green signal. This scenario perfectly captures the ready state. Here, processes are prepared and waiting for their turn to execute, just like vehicles patiently waiting for their signal to go ahead. As we move further, we meet the running state. Think of vehicles smoothly moving on the road, actively contributing to the traffic flow. Similarly, in the running state, processes are actively executing their tasks and driving the progress of the overall operation. Sometimes, we encounter a traffic jam or a roadblock. This situation corresponds to the block state in our process model. It signifies a process that is temporarily unable to continue due to external factors or resource limitations, much like vehicles stuck in congestion or roadblocks. Meanwhile, let's imagine a scenario where the traffic jam clears up or the roadblock is resolved. In our process model, when a block process has been waiting for a cure, it is seamlessly transitioned back to the ready state. It is similar to the vehicles being able to move forward again once the roadblock is lifted or the congestion dispersed. However, there are also times when an ambulance is given priority to move first. In such cases, vehicles on the road will yield and make way for the ambulance, just as processes can be temporarily paused or interrupted to accommodate higher priority tasks. Now, let's move on to the suspend state. Similar to a vehicle meeting a roadblock or traffic jam and needing to take a break, the suspend state is a temporarily halted or on-hold process. It allows the process to rest and wait until favorable conditions arise for its smooth continuation. Let's explore the transition from the suspend state to the ready state. Picture a vehicle that has been resting at a rest area and received news that the roadblock or obstacle ahead has been cleared. The vehicle is now ready to resume its journey. In our process model, this transition corresponds to the movement from the suspend state to the ready state. Finally, our journey ends with the exit state. Just as a vehicle reaches its destination and leaves the road, the exit state represents a process that has completed its execution and reached its final stage. It marks the conclusion of the process task and its exit from the operational flow.
Hello everyone! Are you ready to embark on a pizza making journey? Let's follow Chef Alex as he navigates through the 7-state model process. Our story begins when Chef Alex receives an order to make a delicious pizza. The select chef, who has gathered all the necessary ingredients and tools, instead represents the initial stage of the process. However, sometimes unexpected interruptions occur. In one instant, just as Chef Alex starts preparing the pizza, an urgent request from another customer requires a temporary pause. This transition puts Chef Alex in the ready or suspend state. Once the urgent request is resolved, Chef Alex can get the delay order back to work. The pizza making process resumes as Chef Alex transitions from the ready or suspend state back to the ready state, ready to continue where he left off. With all the preparations complete, Chef Alex eagerly awaits an available cookie station CPU. When the cookie station becomes available, Chef Alex enters the running state. It's like the chef actively cooking the pizza, kneading the dough, adding mouth-watering toppings, and carefully placing it in the oven. However, cooking doesn't always go smoothly. Imagine Chef Alex encounters a small problem. The crucial ingredient is missing. To ensure perfection, Chef Alex temporarily pauses the cooking process. This transition takes Chef Alex from the running state back to the ready state, allowing him to retrieve the missing ingredient. Unfortunately, cooking doesn't always go according to plan. While Chef Alex is in the midst of cooking, a sudden issue arises: a malfunctioning oven. This forces Chef Alex to temporarily halt the pizza making process and enter the block state, waiting for the issue to be resolved. Retrieve the missing ingredient. Thankfully, the issue with the oven gets fixed and Chef Alex can continue the cooking journey, moving from the block state back to the ready state. Chef Alex is once again ready to proceed with the pizza making process. Back on track, Chef Alex continues cooking the pizza with dedication and skill. Finally, after the pizza is baked to perfection, Chef Alex reaches the exit state. It's a moment of accomplishment as Chef Alex removes the finished pizza from the oven, ready to be served. However, some challenges require more time to overcome. In certain cases, Chef Alex faces additional external factors that prolong the pause in the cooking process. This leads to a transition from the block state to the block or suspense state, indicating an extended suspension of the pizza making process. Even after overcoming some obstacles, there may still be remaining challenges. Chef Alex moves from the block or suspense state back to the block state, signifying the continuation of the temporary halt in the pizza making process. It's a moment of perseverance as Chef Alex tackles each obstacle along the way. When the external factors causing the extended pause are finally resolved, Chef Alex can transition from the block or suspense state to the ready or suspense state. Although the pizza making process remains on hold, Chef Alex is prepared to continue cooking as soon as the conditions become favorable.